Hola niños, hoy vamos a leer la historia de A Dog's Life. Espero que te guste. Doris, A Dog's Life. An old, an old dog made a big mistake. He moved in with a dreadful girl named Doris, who wore pink sneakers and chewed gum. The dog had met Doris in the park. She seemed nice enough at the time. She threw sticks, scratched him behind his ear, and said things like, "Nice doggy," which which wasn't exactly brilliant conversation, but was kindly meant. So the dog followed Doris home. When they got there, she she begged her parents to let him stay. "I'll feed it," she promised. "I'll walk it, wash it, and brush it every day. And if you don't say yes, I'll hold my breath till I explode." Doris's parents thought it over for a while. At last they said yes. Probably they didn't want bits of exploded Doris all over the furniture. Once Doris had the dog, however, she didn't do anything that she had promised. She didn't walk it. She didn't play with it. She certainly didn't wash and brush it. Before very long the miserable animal was a mess. A tangle of fur and fleas, mainly fleas. Words quickly got around the neighborhood that if any fleas wanted a snack, it would stop by Doris's house. One evening the dog was doing what he did every evening, lying on the hall rug and scratching. He scratched and scratched and scratched some more until finally a flea fell out of his fur and onto the floor. "Ha ha! Gotcha! Now watch while I bite you in two." The dog opened his mouth and buried his teeth. "Give me a break," said the flea. "I'll give you a break right down the middle." "Look, you're making a big mistake. You strike me as a dog that needs a pal, and I can be that pal. Let me live, and I promise that I'll help you out. I will. I will. Bite me in half, and you. What do you get? Flea breath." "Help me?" The dog couldn't believe his ears. They were a little unbelievable, long and floppy. "A little pipsqueak like you? Who knows? I might even save your life one day." "Save my life?" The dog roared with laughter. "What are you going to do? Become a veterinarian? Give me a free ticket to the flea circus?" He roared again. "You know, Flea, I like you." Wait, no. "You know, Flea, I like you. I haven't laughed like this for ages. You really cheered me up. You tell me that, I won't bite you in half. You're free to go, so scram!" The flea scrammed. About a year later, Doris forgot to close the back door on the way into the house. The dog saw a chance to escape, and he took it. He slipped out before anyone noticed. At last he was free. Free! He howled with joy, and began running up and down the street to celebrate his good fortune. While the dog pranced around, a kind-looking male whistled at him. The happy dog wagged his tail and bounced over to the man, eager for a pat on the head. But the man didn't pat him. He lurched forward, grabbed the dog's collar, and dragged the poor mutt to his truck. A sign on the truck said, "Dog Pound." "I really know how to pick 'em," the dog said to himself. The man unlocked the back of his truck. Inside, a half a dozen captured dogs began to bark and howl. The man unlocked the back of his truck. Inside, a half a dozen captured dogs began to bark and howl. This is it," thought the dog. "There's no escape this time. I'm done for." As the dog was ready to give up, the man let go of the dog's collar and began to slapping and scratching himself as if he were being attacked by fleas, which he saw. Or at least by one flea. It was the dog's old buddy, who was living in a dosh Dachshund that the dog catcher had caught earlier. The flea saw a chance to keep its promise and bit the man as hard as it could. And then it jumped into the old dog and shouted, "Quick, let's get out of here!" The dog took off down the street. When they were safely away, the dog spoke to the little flea riding on his nose. "Thanks. That that was a narrow escape." "And you laughed and I promised to save you." "Someday. You're right. I guess I've learned the lesson that even a little friend can be a big help. Now the now then, friend flea, let me show you my thanks. May I take you to dinner? How about you and I go for a of doors? Bite bite of doors." Bueno, niños, espero que te gustó esta historia y te veo pronto. Adiós.